In this tutorial, we are asked to solve for a, the equation a to the 2/3 minus a to the 1/3 is equal to 2. We have to apply our laws of indices and then to be able to see the way forward. Power 2/3 means cube root raised to the power 2. Power 1/3 simply means cube root. So when we look at what we have now, we can see that it's actually a quadratic expression in terms of cube root a. To make it clear, let's do the substitution y equals cube root of a. So whenever we see cube root of a, we're going to write y. So we have here cube root of a squared. So we're going to get y squared. We have here cube root of a. It's going to be y is equal to 2. So we now see clearly that it's a quadratic expression. Let's just take these 2 from the right hand side into the left hand side. And so we have y squared minus y minus 2 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Alright, so solving this quadratic equation, all we need to do is to get 2 factors of -2 whose sum is -1. Those 2 factors will be -2 and +1. Alright, -2 can be split into -2 times +1. -2 times +1 is -2. And when we add -2 to 1, we're going to get -1. And so this choice of -2 and 1 is correct. All right, so let's come here and replace this -1 with +1 and -2. So we have y squared plus 1 minus 2y minus 2 is equal to 0. 1 minus 2 is -1. So we have just replaced this coefficient of y, a -1, with 1 minus 2. So open this parenthesis with respect to y, we get y squared. Y multiplied to 1 is y. Y multiplied to -2 is -2y. All right, rearranging, let's take, factorizing, let's take the first 2 and factorize, and the next 2 terms and factorize. If we look at the first 2 terms, y is common, so we'll put y outside. We're going to have y plus 1. If we look at the next 2 terms, -2 is common, so we'll say plus -2 into y plus 1 is equal to 0. We should always check to be sure that our factorization is correct. If we open this parenthesis, do we get back this? -2 multiplied to y is -2y, correct? -2 multiplied to plus 1 is -2. So this factorization is correct. So we continue. Here again, we see y plus 1 is common. So we factorize out y plus 1. When we remove it from here, we get y. And when we remove y plus 1 from there, we get -2. Okay, so here we got the 2 factors in terms of y. Okay, now if this product gives us 0, either means y plus 1 is 0. If that is true, then y equals -1. Or y minus 2 is 0. If that is true, then y equals 2. We're not ending here. All we have done is solve for y, but we're asked to solve for a. So we have to go back to this, our relation, the relation between y and a, and bring out our solution in terms of a. So when y is -1, remember y is cube root of a. So we are saying cube root simply means power 1/3. So let's write it in index form. A to the power 1/3 is equal to -1. And so if we cube both sides, that's raise both sides to the power 3, we're going to have a to the power 1/3 cube is equal to -1 cube. So we're going to have a is equal to -1 cube is -1. So that gives us our first value for a. Now we take the other case. when y is equal to 2. Again, y is cube root of a. So we're saying a to the power 1/3 is equal to 2. To get our a, we cube both sides. So when we cube both sides, we obtain a is equal to 8. So our two solutions are a equals -1 or a equals 8.